Discard your worthless destiny. This place holds such fond memories. Care to reminisce?
Why the long face, buddy? Cheer up! Remember to bring more next time!
I really love Clocky.
My dream is right before my eyes.
Cake, soda, and fresh-baked pizzas.
My dream is right before...
I performed there as well when I was...
No surprise there.
but...
Please do not make
This is the one. It has to be.
First time playing pool on a round table. A new model of wristwatch by the Stent.
Papyrus Apparel Fashion Show.
Get ready. You'll be falling. Get ready. Get ready.
Where imagination meets science.
Discover the Patrol Photon Blaster and seize the radiant wonders of the cosmos.
Where imagination meets science.
Found something you like?
Where imagination meets science.
Are you ready to experience Miss Black Swan's dreamscape? Oh yes, I nearly forgot.
The nature of this memory is special. Don't ruin the dreamscape experience for anyone else by spoiling the ending. In my estimation, there is no question about it. This is murder.
Murder. Such a foreign word to us. The people of Penacony could never come to any harm while under the watchful protection of the family. In a dream, even if you're bashed 1,000 times with a hammer, at worst, you'll still wake up in reality in a hotel.
Not necessarily. Even if the result does not constitute harm, the criminal intent is clear enough. You specifically came here to cordon off the scene because of the unsavory nature of this case, right?
You're not wrong. Even if there are no casualties, being smashed over the head with a hammer in the middle of the street for no reason at all? This is not the kind of thing that happens on Penacony. You are guests of the Oak family, so you may investigate the crime scene. I'll be on standby over here.
Are you a witch? Just how did you manage to convince them in the blink of an eye that we're some kind of detectives?
Just some suggestions at the memory level. If something happens in everybody's memory, then that something becomes a fact. Rather than hearing endless explanations, would you like to experience it for yourself?
No! Hey, you can save that for the enemy.
Then on to the next order of business. Let's discuss your companion, shall we?
Memo Keeper of the Garden of Recollection. I've been watching you for quite some time. You stole a glance at me when you first entered the hotel. You followed me wherever I went inside the dreamscape. In the windows along the commercial street. In the pond water reflections of the Ideen Park. Even in the reflections of the wine glass. My dear, do you have a crush on me? Well then, seeing as you're so interested in me, let's play a little game. I left a puzzle for you near OT Mall. Solve it and prove that you're capable of pleasing me. Don't leave me waiting, my dear. Before Penacony gets flipped upside down, try to find me, catch me, and stop me.
There's actually more than one memo keeper who's come to Penacony. She's mixed me up with someone else. But no harm, no foul. The address that the mask gave you is right here. But you never would have thought. that when Miss Sparkle mentioned a game, she was talking about wanton slaughter on the streets of Penacony. Such a direct act of provocation is enough to get my competitive side worked up, too.
Madam, forgive me. I had no idea about anything she said. As you saw, I went through a brain scan and everything. I'm just a friend, helping her deliver a letter, that's all. I never knew this was actually a declaration of warfare. They say you shouldn't kill the messenger. So, maybe you can just, let me go. You all are the big shots here. I'm really not on your level.
What a frightened look you have. Don't worry. Since this has nothing to do with you, I won't be suspecting you of anything. Why don't you come take a stroll with me?
Oh, seems like I can't escape being an assistant detective. Oh, fine. It's all fine. No big deal.
If there's anything you'd like to know, please ask away.
Any leads yet?
This is a developing case, so there aren't many clues yet. All we have to go by are the weapon used by the assailant and the victim's ID. They didn't even take the weapon with them. Sounds like they're trying to provoke us. Despicable.
Who was the victim?
An IPC employee named Shamari. Eyewitnesses reported that a tall, strong man wearing a large robe with long sleeves walked right past Shamari and suddenly assaulted him with a hammer. Shamari collapsed on the spot and woke up from the dream. The murderer vanished in a flash.
Ooh, that sounds just like Sparkle. Her best asset is transforming her appearance to look like someone else.
Who are those two little guys?
Seems like the assailants stole the troop from elsewhere and deliberately placed them here. What nerve. They don't even have the slightest consideration for public order. Those two have clammed up. I wonder if you two could help pry open their mouths.
Looks like a puzzle that Sparkle has left behind for you.
Where's Mr. Shamari right now? I'd like to meet him.
I'm afraid you can't. The Oaks came forward and calmed him down. Mr. Shamari expressed that he understands the unpredictable nature of dreams, and went on to vacation in another dreamscape. Best not to bother him. Guest experiences always have to come first.
Oh, I'm afraid by the time we find him, half of Penacony will have been sent back to reality by Sparkle.
Looks like we'll have to play this little game of sparkles then.
Lady Black Swan, you're here! I'm the constable, and this here assisting me is the bailiff for this case.
Mr. Coldfeet, why'd you do it?
So they can talk after all. Miss Black Swan, they're heading straight for you.
Don't interrupt, I wasn't talking to you. Ahem. I understand Lady Black Swan has quite the intellect. I'm sure you'll be able to get to the bottom of the Sparkle murder case.
The Sparkle murder case? Wasn't the victim Shamari from the IPC?
You're wrong, Lady Black Swan. The victim is evidently none other than the matriarch of the Goldhammer family, Miss Sparkle Goldhammer.
Oh. I guess Miss Sparkle has written herself into the skit here, and this has nothing to do with the actual case. Goldhammer. Is that her real surname?
Never heard of it. Sounds made up. Sparkle doesn't sound like a real name either.
Miss Sparkle was supposed to receive 3 valiant warriors at the Goldhammer residence today, but upon their arrival, all they found was her body. Miss Sparkle had been smashed over the head by a hammer and died on the spot. Such a brutal act of violence.
My investigations discovered that the 3 warriors were supposed to escort supplies back to their territory the day before, but they were unexpectedly ambushed by the Annihilation Gang. They narrowly escaped and barely got away with their lives, finding their supplies almost completely raided. So they all shared a motive for killing Miss Sparkle, to escape punishment.
So the 3 of them teamed up to kill her.
Is the case closed?
No, there can only be one murderer.
If you can't justify it, don't bother.
Got it! Those 3 were all vying against each other to be number 2. They
That actually doesn't make much sense. Even if they...
Please begin your investigation, Lady Black Swan.
I've got the case file right here. If you want to learn more about this... Lady Black Swan, a Lefton is one of Miss Sparkle's chief lieutenants, whose right hand was unfortunately severed while he was valiantly fighting off the Annihilation Gang. He's now learning how to write it. Then there's Zhongshan. This guy's a coward who ran away as last of all comes right.
Hang on, I'm confused here.
What? Where did you get that idea from?
That won't be necessary.
No wonder you're a memo keep.
Look! An ID card.
Mr. Shamars.
Holy moly!
Miss Sparkle also used it to...
I'm barely able to lift this using both hands. Is that all the evidence? Oh, you scared me! When did you pop out?
The 2 pieces of evidence that you found are related to the attack on Shamari. Miss Sparkle didn't leave, but there are still some other clues that were placed in other areas. So that...
Isn't that a bit of...
No.
Seems quite nice of her.
Looks like Miss Sparkle is adding a little spice to the investigation. What's this little device here for? Could you please let me know? It looks like a little button.
Don't push it, Lady Black Swan. Whatever you do, don't push it! That's the mutually assured destruction button that Miss Sparkle installed. Once pushed, Miss Sparkle and the entire... Miss Sparkle also has her...
That sounds like... both buttons can do the
Correct! Exactly.
Oh.
Aren't you going to ask me why?
Okay. Why?
Because she is fair.
This is nuts! What's this?
Regardless of why it's designed to look like the conductor aboard the
Have you ever heard of something called a red herring in detective stories? It's a
I see. But when it's so...
That's just in case you didn't...
You don't have to play along that hard.
This notice seems...
That sounded like...
This is so her style. Doesn't look like there are any more clues.
Next, should we pin down left in that guy? Remember Zhongshan's I remember this one better.
Why don't we flip the question?
If you put it like that. So, remember Zhongshan? Oh, is... So, who... Remember Zhongshan? Oh, is... So, remember John... Oh, is that... Oh, is that... Oh, is... Oh...
Poor guy. That would suggest...
So, who left in... Oh. 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 Is that... Oh.
Based on the bailiff's left in...
My process...
Please begin your
The murderer.
Huh?
Looks like the key to winning lies not in the puzzle itself.
I have to remind...
That's exactly... Right now, let's follow her...
So why are you so focused on Sparkle's challenge? Or should I ask, are you more focused on Sparkle herself?
I told you. It's purely out of a spirit of competitiveness. And, as a memo keeper, I also have to fulfill my responsibilities and harvest some interesting memories.
Whoa, this place is a complete mess.
Oh, Detective Black Swan and Detective...
We don't know what we'd do without your help.
Why?
Is there something...
Oh,
Huh.
Let's discuss this.
Her again?
Oh, for the laugh. After a long time, there were 3 suspects.
Our old friend.
It's not just
Miss Sparkle is so...
based on surveillance.
You're too...
Oh, for the love.
Detective Black Swan.
Become part of the family. Right.
Let me introduce the... First of all, is the shop. Next up, you have the... Finally, there is the gambler. That's all the information.
That won't be necessary. There's an accounting book lying on
the
This Chen could... And there...
That's Skipper.
The tag...
That's not how... So...
Miss Sparkle.
She doesn't want to distract our investigation? little stool that seems...
The footprints, which...
Perhaps it's just... What's that?
Mr. Sampa.
Somebody...
Even among the fools.
Have you dealt with...
No, only I...
This...
Open it up.
Because this ring...
In the victim's...
Hey, there's something engraved in... That should be it. Let's head out.
I have to thank you, Mr. Assistant Detective, but...
Have you found out who the killer...
Just some shallow intuition. Anyway...
Oh, for the left!
Pretty much.
You live up to your rep... Then go ahead.
In my opinion, there is no murderer for this...
What do you mean by that?
This stool is...
That's right! Miss Sparkle's business, and those three all... And so she's... What a trip!
As you can imagine, the Mr. Assistant Detective...
Ah, I see.
Correct, Detective...
Sheriff, the murderer is...
Yes! For...
Dead. Right from the start, there was...
Goodness me!
Look, Miss Sparkle has given...
I'll take it so anyway.
So that's it? This is just...
Then I wish you both the best.
Just as you said, solving puzzles is all just a cover for something else. That girl is toying with us. What should we do now? Just keep getting...
Miss Black Swan.
A murder in a...
As expected.
Yesterday, the butler, Zhang. As soon as the room was cut.
Thinking quickly.
Besides us and Zhang.
Presumably, Miss Sparkle, why don't you skip...